give you a bit of an ecological lecture. I like to give ecological lectures, yeah. But just a bit of the historical background and the biographical background. We are here walking along this trail called the Wallace's Trail. And this Wallace's Trail is interesting and significant for many reasons. Many of us who are interested in wildlife and animals, we have read about a fine English gentleman with a very long beard. I would have assumed that he was Osama bin Laden by his standards. But anyway, Wallace is a very well-respected naturalist. He's a contemporary of Charles Darwin, and obviously one of the people who made several discoveries that also influenced the future of the theory of evolution. This area where we are is part of the places that he explored when he first arrived in Singapore from the UK. So he came around here, bashed around with the jungle, risked getting killed by some tigers, of which there were many in the old days. He probably accessed this area from the oldest road in the country. I'm sure all of us know which is the oldest road in the country. Okay, if you study geography, remember that Bukit Timah Road, the road that cuts from the city to the northern border, that's the oldest road. It's been
Not Orchard Road.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, unfortunately not. Yeah. But this road is interesting because it bisects the rainforest back in place. So if I was a bird watcher in the 1840s, I would probably walk this road, and you could possibly see rhinoceros, hornbills, and all those things. Tigers are obviously gone. But what is amazing is that there's still a lot of biodiversity left in the country, and Bukit Timah Hill, which we are at right now, is probably the best place in the country to see a lot of biodiversity, but not necessarily birds. There's a lot of birds here. If you go by the eBird list, I think Yong, who is our controller of the eBird list, he would tell us that there's probably 200 over species that have been recorded in and around this area. But this number is accumulated over quite a long time. And of course, because this is a pretty dense rainforest, it's not that easy to see so many species. So with a bit of luck, as I mentioned, we might see about 30 to 40 species. A bit of background on the Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. We are technically at the foothills of the Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. Most of this area was barren before they were plantations. And one of the, I think I was telling Kun and Helen, my colleagues who actually came in yesterday, was that I saw an old painting of Bukit Timah published in 1942. This painting was hanging in the Tokyo Museum. It showed a war scene, but that scene was set. I think Jeff and I shared that with you before. It's a scene of a hill slope and a road. And that road, if I interpret it with modern geographical understanding, that road would be Bukit Timah. That area, that landscape is totally barren, with the hill behind. So most of where we are right now, you will see that this is young secondary forest. The forest is here for say 30 to 40 years. Very young. You know it's young, dense forest, and a lot of species that are not native to Singapore. I'm not a botanist by training. I believe many of you here are way more botanically inclined, but you will be able to see several species of plants that are either not native to Asia, it could be from Africa, from South America, and there are also plants that are what you will see in secondary forest. Secondary in the sense that it's been destroyed once, or twice maybe, and it's coming back with all these fast-growing plants. One of the highlights of Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, and coming from a bird watcher's point of view, for some of you who like interesting, rare, and endangered birds, is that this is probably amongst the best places in this solar system to see the straw-headed bulbul. So I've hosted a lot of guests from our partners in around Asia. Recently I brought a team of people from Burung, Indonesia here. I think Anuj will have been with me that day. And I asked my Burung colleagues, now Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world. They have more birds than any country in the world except for South America. And I asked our Indonesian colleagues, what birds do you want to see in Bukit Timah? They said, we want to see Cucak Lawa. And Cucak Lawa is the straw-headed bulbul, which is a red listed species, is a critically endangered species. According to our BirdLife data, we think that there are less than 2,000 individuals around. Based on the latest national park spot data, we think that as many, I use the words carefully, don't quote me on this, as many as 800 individuals are in Singapore. So you do a little basic bits of math, that's about a third of the global population. And area, there's probably 0.01% on this global species. So that makes Singapore really significant for the conservation of Australian booboos. But there are also quite a bunch of other threatened species that you can find here. There will be 3 globally threatened species that we will be looking out for. These are BirdLife-Nature species. If we don't see these 3 species, we're not leaving this place. Alright, and I think you know which one I'm referring to. The first one we need to get is straw-headed booboo. With these fine birders here, we will find it. The other species, which is probably a bit more difficult to see, is the greater green bird. The greater green bird is a bird that looks like a wing. It's green in color. It's globally endangered, which means that it's on the second highest rank of endangerment before it becomes critically endangered. So there are greater green birds here. You will hear them, but they are not easy to see, and they are very confusing because sometimes they sound like another really common forest bird called the bracket-tailed bongo. I think Sing Bing has recorded this greater green bird once and shared with us, and we all assumed it was a changeable hawk eagle. I was like, what the heck is going on? But it was a greater green bird. So it mimics other birds quite a bit. With a bit of luck, you will see it here. The last globally threatened species is a parrot. Now this parrot is not so bad, but globally again is rare because in other countries they are threatened for the bird trade. Later on, Anish will give us a little bit of lecture on the bird trade, the parrot trade. Maybe not now. This is the long-tailed parakeet. It's sometimes here in flocks. When you fly over, they make a sound and you can hear them and you know that they're around. But there are way more other places that are easier to see these parrots. So just a little bit of the background. I'm not going to the whole 200 species here, but just going to highlight the 3 that are globally threatened. We are not in the migratory season for Singapore, so we are not going to be seeing any migratory species except possibly one of these really early migrators called the brown streak-flagged. With a bit of luck, well, a bit of miracle, you may say, but it's not a common bird. It's quite small, it's unobtrusive. Yeah. So that's the birding background for Bukit Timah Hill. We will aim for 31 species. That's actually something I wanted to say, but I keep forgetting. Oh yes, I wanted to mention that Nature Society has worked with Cornell University to co-develop the Merlin app for Singapore. So for those of you who are super new to bird watching, this app is very cool because you could use it to figure out what species are in Singapore. Do you have that at easy disposal? The Merlin app on your handphone. Yeah. So while Kim Chong is pulling out his phone, I also want to share with you another app that BirdLife as an organization is very heavily involved in. This is called the eBird app. The eBird app is an app that's developed by Cornell, but we have been helping Cornell a lot by giving them information and by getting the BirdLife partners around the world to give them information so that they can build a really robust database for birds. So eBird app is really cool because if you are a bird watcher that's new to a country or a location, you turn on the app and you put your value down, the app will tell you what are the species that you are very likely to see. So this app is very helps you to learn the birds well, because recently I was in Africa and I know nothing about Africa. I took out the app and it gives me already a predicted species of the birds that I'm likely to see. Like most likely, less likely, and least likely. So eBird is a really cool app. If you don't have it now, I strongly urge you to download it immediately. Together with Merlin, if you have bandwidth on your handphone. Yeah, I think Kim Chong has within there the Merlin app. I think enough said. I've talked too much. I think we are losing birding time, but we are now here at the best part of the reserve. The sad thing is that when I was walking in, I already got 2 or 3 key bird species. I think we can count it. We had straw-headed booboo and I had a really loud red-legged crick. The little, it looks like a water hen, but it's red color with the stripes on its back. So it was shouting really loudly. We should count it. Yeah. So here's the game plan for today. Because the group is kind of big, we will split ourselves into a front team and a back team. So I've appointed myself to be the gatekeeper of the eBird list. So if you see any bird, I will put it into the list, and that will be the collective list. Anuj will be in front together with Jeff, Ealing, Veronica, Kim Chong, Alan, and Sing Bing. Alright, these are the leading birders of the nation. So they will be in the front finding the birds for you, while I will be behind making sure that everybody don't fall behind or get diseases. So that's our game plan.